It's just a total fire, not just sparks anymore. This is really a frightening sight, if you ask me. I don't know if you could tell what's going on in front. It looks to be pretty clear. Stu, is it?
Yes, they definitely cleared the road. Looks like the truck is finally just giving up the fight out here. You know, obviously that guy driving it probably still trying to push it, but this vehicle not moving now. You know, if this thing does come to a stop out here, he seems to be speeding up again. You know, the officers have to wonder how far this guy will go not to get into custody. So you know these officers from CHP, they've got to be considering what's going to happen when this thing stops. But again, he just keeping pushing this truck out here. You know, he's making these moves. We know there's one person inside the vehicle for sure. We've been listening on to see if we know if there's any other people in there. But again, this truck, that front wheel, what's left of that rim, not even turning out here.
No.
This thing just running on the front suspension, that front axle. And again, it's just a matter of time before there's an actual fire underneath this truck.
Looks like a welding torch underneath that truck. And can you give us an idea of how fast this truck is going, Stu?
He's probably still going about 30, 40 miles an hour, and you know, he was doing that earlier on as well, but I bet you right now this truck just not going to be able to keep this kind of movement up, as you know, it's running on less and less, the metal just becoming more and more in contact with the asphalt and concrete out there. It looks like he's starting to push it again. You can see those sparks really kicking up. He's really starting to floor it, and again though, it's just amazing that this guy can keep this thing in any kind of straight line. Getting a little bit wider here just so you can get an idea. The freeway totally empty out there. Major sparks coming off of this truck, and then again you can just see like an explosion of sparks as something big catches underneath there. Again though, CHP still behind him. They got a couple of vehicles, and again, you know, it's going to be what's going to happen when this truck stops running, and it also, you know, is it going to be a fire? Is this guy going to get out and run? Is he armed? Obviously he does not want to be taken into custody. Obviously he has no concern for that vehicle. Unclear if it's his, and again, it looks like he's drifting here a little bit, and we don't know if he's doing that on purpose or he just can't control this truck, but definitely he still has power as this thing is still moving along here as we're approaching the 210 freeway now. Again, it is just amazing sight. I have never seen something like this before. We're in the San Bernardino area, northbound 215 as we're approaching the 210 out here.
Yeah, Stu, I've never seen anything like that either. I mean, these sparks or the fire, whatever that is that's happening underneath the carriage of that vehicle, that's just too much. And I'm wondering, do you see any fire trucks or emergency vehicles that are now... Okay, now he's just kind of panned out there.
Yeah, that's it. That's
you think
it.
he's
The
going to
truck
try
just
to get out of the truck?
Well, you know, this is the thing. This is the time where, you know, the officers don't know. And you know, the truck obviously gave up the ghost. This guy was probably trying to keep this thing going. I'm going to get a little bit wider here, see where those officers are. They're going to keep a safe distance. You know, they're going to have their weapons out. They're going to start giving some demands to this guy. Hopefully he's going to comply. Again, though, you know, now we can kind of see a little bit inside that front seat. We only see one person in there. Don't know if there's anybody in the back seat. It looks like I saw a hand there. He's moving around. He might be trying to restart this truck, and that's what he did.
Oh, boy.
That's what he did. Here he goes again. Obviously, the truck just kind of gave up, but you know, here he goes, and he's off again. Amazing. You know, you don't want to try to take away from the seriousness of this. He's taking out cones and stuff. Yeah, he's taking out cones and the roadway signs out there. Might be some construction coming up. Again, though, you know, this thing, it is just amazing what this truck is doing right here. And again, officers from the CH, look at it. He's probably got no control or very little control over this truck. As
but he can
it's moving along
stop
here.
it. That's what we've been seeing. He can apparently, yes, right, Rick, stop and start the truck.
We want to remind people who are just joining us, this is a pursuit a very colorful pursuit that began in Orange County a little while ago. Stu Mundell up in Sky 2 reported that it was a simple traffic violation.
He almost looked like he was going to turn over there.
Yeah, he got off the roadway there. He hit that. Yeah, and he got a little sideways, a little up on two wheels almost, and again, look at all that smoke that's coming out from underneath that truck. There's a lot of heat under there, and there's a lot of stuff that can catch fire. You just got to wonder what's going on. But yeah, we said it a few moments ago, but now you just got to wonder if this thing has even got the power to go anymore. That was the CHP helicopter that just flew through the shot there. When he lights it up, you can kind of make it out. There's a guy, male, in the driver's seat. Oh, look at that! Look at that! He's trying to make this thing go. He's flooring it right now. Again, this thing is not going anywhere. The truck is done, and now it's going to be a question if he's going to comply and allow these officers to take him into custody, as he's still trying to get away out here. But it appears that it's over now for that truck.
One good thing here too is that we didn't see any traffic following or on either side of this vehicle, because that just would have, can you imagine the fear that he is still trying to start this?
You can see those tires were, rear tires were moving there for a bit.
Yeah, that heavy smoke is because he's wedged up somehow. He's flooring it right now, trying to get away. We saw there's still power to the truck. The rear wheel on our side actually was trying to go in reverse, but apparently he is jammed up on something, and that tire just not grabbing any traction. He's not going to go anywhere, and but he's definitely trying. You can see this guy is definitely trying still to get away, moving that shifter around in there and trying to make this truck go. But it seems like right now he's in a position where that truck's not going to go anywhere anymore. You can see him. He just put the seat back right now. It seems like he's realizing that he is kind of stuck, and he is not going to go anywhere. Again, though, the 215, I believe, we're still on the 215 northbound right before the 210. Definitely going to be shut down. You can see traffic getting around there on one of the off-ramps. We'll get to that off-ramp in just a moment. But again, the officers from CHP got the freeway stopped. They're just going to kind of let this sit. It looks like he's trying one more time. Yeah, you can see him moving around in there. He had this there. You see the tires are moving. The vehicle just seems to be wedged in a position where he cannot get away. So he's done. He just has to realize it.
With that much smoke, you wonder if it's not even affecting him.
You would think, with the smell of rubber too, when it burns like that, it's just an awful smell, and he doesn't want to give up. And it doesn't appear they're approaching either, does it, Stu? The police.
Well, this is the thing. This guy obviously not in the right state of mind, so officers are going to give him a little bit of a wide berth to allow him to do whatever he needs to do and maybe calm down, maybe get his wits about him. So they're not going to come rushing up right now and try to take this guy, especially with that vehicle still operational at some point. The officer safety definitely a concern for these guys. You can see them, though. They have their guns out. They are ready to make a move if they have to, especially if this guy backs up into those officers. That would be considered assault with a deadly weapon. We don't want to see that happen. But it seems to me that the truck just not moving. The guy's still willing in there. You can see him. He wants to leave. But right now his vehicle not going to be helping him out very much anymore. And hopefully it's going to sink in here in a moment or two, and he's just going to give up.
Or either he'll sit there and just wait for the police to come and remove him from that truck if they are able to do so. You wonder at moments like this sometimes a family member or somebody that knows a person could be calling police or getting in touch with them so they have some more information about who was behind the wheel of this truck. And at this time, we certainly don't have any reports that this was a stolen vehicle.
He's spinning those tires again. He's still attempting to leave this scene. He's got no rubber on the front. In fact, it looks like that rim might even be busted on the left front, but he's still spinning those rear tires. I think he's caught up on the shoulder there, and I mean, I don't know where he thinks he's going to go.
And it makes you wonder what happened in the first place. If they were just after him because of some kind of traffic violations, too, right? Not a stolen vehicle. Maybe he was going in between lanes or something like that. As we saw him earlier, that brought attention to himself. But
And again, that's it. It starts out as a simple traffic stop. We've seen these things go very south very quickly, turning out very badly. It appears that this guy, though, still very agitated inside that vehicle. You can see some very quick movements. He's got some sort of paperwork, possibly, it almost might sound comical. You might even be reading the owner's manual. You saw the front wheels moving around a little bit. He was trying to wiggle that truck loose. It really definitely seems like this thing is stuck, and it is not going to go anywhere. Again, right now the truck not moving. That rear tire may have even gone flat now, maybe from the constant burning out of rubber. It looks as if though he might have even got out of the driver's seat right now. So now he's moving around inside that cab. It's kind of unusual what he's doing. Maybe he's looking out that other window trying to see what he's hung up on. There, he's out of the vehicle. He's definitely out of the vehicle. He's on the passenger side. Unclear what his motive is. It looks as let's see what they're doing here. It looks as if
is he laying down? He is.
He
looks as he's laying down. Yeah, it looks like he might just be complying. He's on the ground there. The helicopter providing some light. See what these officers are doing real quick. I don't want to lose sight of this guy. Officers still probably giving him commands, telling him to work his way over to them. Looks like he fell right there. Definitely might be inebriated. Maybe that was the original one on this.
Well, you know what, Stu? We do have some information that we can share with you and our viewers. This started around 10:10 in Newport Beach, and he does have a warrant, and that's why police and a vehicle code violation, right, Rick? That's why they were looking for or stopped him in the first place.
And we mentioned the fact that the way he was using all the lanes and going back and forth, it was hard to tell if it was trying to keep control of that truck, which lost its tires, or if he was inebriated. And
he can't even
looks at this.
Yeah, definitely. When he wakes up in the morning, you really got to wonder if he's gonna feel like maybe he shouldn't have been doing this last night. But taking off his jacket, seems like he's complying, trying to stand up. He might have been better just waiting in the truck for the officers. But now on the ground down there, he's on all fours. These are probably commands that the officers are telling him to do. They're making their approach there. They're going to take him into custody. Hopefully he won't resist too much. You can see that one officer, they still got their weapons out and trained on that vehicle just in case there is somebody else in that truck, which would create some sort of problem. But right now, seems like they're just going to take this guy into custody. They're going to have to clear that pickup truck and then hopefully reopen the freeway there for the rest of the citizens out here in the Riverside area.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a long Memorial Day weekend for
and let's hope that there is nobody else in there too, Pat. I mean,
well,
they're going to make their approach here. They're going to look inside those windows. Definitely taking every precaution out here. These officers not leaving anything up to chance. Then again, that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen with that truck just fully involved in sparks. And a miracle it didn't catch fire. Miracle there was no injuries to anybody. And CHP definitely taking this guy into custody, bringing this to an end out here in the San Bernardino Riverside area.
Well, they're just dragging him back to the